Here we'll take a look at a few powerful tools that are available across the Microsoft Office 2013 suite that a power user can take advantage of to build solutions. First is the Backstage. Yes, in Office 2013, the File button is back, and when you hit that File button, you go to the Backstage. One of the items that is available in the Backstage is actually properties. These properties are the attributes or metadata that are stored in the document itself and also can come from SharePoint. So, as a power user, if there were people who really didn't want to ever go to the SharePoint site, you could train them how to update metadata directly in the Office document within the Backstage. If you don't think people will go into the Backstage by hitting the File button, Office has an information panel, which actually is an XML document itself that could be edited in InfoPath if you wanted to get very fancy. But this can automatically open when a new document template opens, and there's the metadata again. Directly in front of the user's face, they know they have to fill it out. Finally, another feature that isn't used as often as I'd like to see are called quick parts. Within those quick parts are document properties. These document properties are exactly what was presented in the Backstage. What does this mean? This means you can embed that metadata directly into templates. Let's take a look at how you can take advantage in Word templates. I'm no master of the Word template, but I certainly am able to create a document by dragging metadata fields from the quick parts onto a page, saving it down to my desktop, and uploading it into a content type. If I do that, I'll get a template that looks something like this. Here you can see the information panel at the top that's displaying the specific metadata that I've added into the SharePoint site. And in the form itself, not very colorful here, but one of my favorite salary increase requests, you see that the title is embedded, the start date, career level, and division. In either the information panel or the document itself, you can edit these. So what have we done? We've embedded the metadata fields directly into this document. This is very familiar for people and really increases user adoption. And finally, a true secret is that these Word templates can even be used offline, because once it's created as a template and it understands that it's looking for values from SharePoint, it will store those values. And a third party, let's say you unfortunately email the document to someone, that person can upload the document into the SharePoint library, and SharePoint will automatically take the metadata fields that you originally created in that document. This is a very powerful tool, and I highly recommend using it. Let's take a look at this live. I'd like to take two items stored within the Power User site and show you the integration with Office. First, we'll show a PowerPoint, and then I'll jump to an Excel spreadsheet that's stored in SharePoint. Let's go to the training library and open up that PowerPoint. Okay, so here we are in a PowerPoint that was opened in SharePoint. I could have gone through my network places and opened this document and gotten the same exact view, not ever having to touch the SharePoint site itself. Now I'd like to go to the Backstage and see what I have available to me. Go into the File menu, and here you'll see the Backstage. And what your eye should be drawn to is Properties. Properties here show the basic out-of-the-box PowerPoint properties. If you notice on the bottom, you can do show all properties. Now you can see additional metadata that is stored within the SharePoint list and not within the document. I can't edit this right now because the document isn't checked out, so let me enable editing. You can see that now Office is telling me that checkout is required. Here's yet another integration point. It knows that the document has to be checked out, and in the single location, I can actually check the document out. Now the document is checked out in SharePoint and no one can touch it. Not only is it checked out, but back in the Backstage, I can actually check it in, discard the checkout, and do lots of other things. One of which is view the different versions. Here we have check in, discard the checkout, and reviewing the versions. Again, all deep integration between Office and SharePoint 2013. Let's take a look again at those metadata columns. First, you'll notice editor and training author are not out-of-the-box columns for PowerPoint. They're coming from SharePoint. Then we have the different template. We have the status, category, company was the original company that created it, and the status that we created. And you can see here that I can choose from the drop-down. Now let's check in the document. Look, it's the same screen we got when we were in SharePoint, asking me if I'd like to do a major or minor version. Now you'll notice that the checked out band is sitting above the PowerPoint presentation, letting me know yet again that the document is checked in, and if I want to work on it, I would need to check it out. Let's take a look at the similar features within Excel. Here I'm in a Power Pivot table for an Excel spreadsheet stored within SharePoint. How do I know it's stored within SharePoint? Let's again go back to the Backstage and find out. Here you can see the URL already displaying of where this document is stored. It's in this site, in the Power subsite, in the Report Document Library. If I want to check that out, on the bottom right we have Open File Location. Here we are in the SharePoint site where the document is stored. Another deep integration piece. You'll even notice here that the browser SharePoint opened up was my default browser, which for this instance is Opera. So even though it's connected to Office products, it still can connect information and URLs to other browsers. Again, in the Excel Backstage, we have all of the features of check-in, check-out, managing versions, and showing all properties. What I'd like to show you here is that if you also go up to the Properties button, you can show the document panel. Here you can see the metadata that's stored directly within SharePoint. That's a quick overview of the integration across all Office products that a power user can take advantage of with SharePoint 2013. In this demonstration, we'll take a look at Word templates. We are in the Salary Request document library. This document library only has one content type, and that's for a salary request. Here you can see the content type for the salary request document. This salary request content type has the fields that you see displayed in the All Documents view. Let's open it and take a look. Now that I've enabled editing, you can see the document panel opens up, and here are the metadata columns that we just saw in the All Documents view. This is not the best example because there are actually some column types that aren't able to be displayed in a Word document, or maybe this is a perfect example. Let's take a look within the document of the different columns that are available. Right now we have title. If I just click in here and start typing, and click to the next item, you'll see up in the top that my spelling mistake shows up. But now that I corrected it, it corrects in the document also. If I have a date, I get the nice date picker automatically. Next, I could have drop-down values built within the form. I can also have large blocks of text, and this is a multi-choice field that doesn't show up in the document. Here you can see that if I had a more well-designed form, it would be pretty and easy to use, but I'm actually populating the metadata fields directly from the document. Let's see that in action. Here you can see the document that I just filled out and its metadata columns. Now I can use workflows, view reports, have a dashboard that shows all of the information that was submitted, and it was through a Word document that is really easy to use. I highly recommend, again, using Word templates to fill out simple forms and capture metadata to be reused multiple times.